Hello everybody, welcome to my channel. My name is Manan. This is the 7th and the final episode of Life in Estonia series. If you have been following me so far, then thank you so much. In this episode we are going to answer a few more questions. Should you move to Estonia? I will talk about my example, what I learned despite all the hardships and the difficulties that I faced in the 6 years that I have been here. But this is going to be a lot less structured. I will not be giving you any tips or tricks in this episode. This is just a final bow. This is just a final bow, right? Something that ties the whole thing together. So, let's begin. So the first thing is, why did I decide to make this series? Well, the answer is quite simple. I grew up in Pakistan, and Pakistan, like all developing countries, we have a very rosy picture of life abroad, about Europe, about North America, and seeing my friends and my family go abroad, it made me think that life is a lot better here. And it was only when I came here and I started to live my life that I truly understood what exactly is the life here. There's one very important thing that I need to hammer down whatever and wherever you're listening from. It's that no matter where you are or where you are going to pay a price for anything that you do or anywhere that you want to go. If you want more money, you have to pay a price of time and attention and hard work and commitment and sleepless nights. If you want to have more freedom, then you have to have some kind of discipline that makes that freedom possible. Coming abroad to Estonia or North America or Canada from a developing country is no different. You are paying a price and you have to know what the price is. This is why I made this series, because many of the things that we see from abroad are all the upside. We see the whole thing about, everyone is having their fun, which is probably more true for social media and the online sphere in general. But through this series, I wanted to give a very honest, a very clear, a very direct overview of what is life really like here, so that you know what is it that you're going to get here when you come here, because that is the upside. But also, what is it that you are going to give up? That is the downside. And not many people talk about that. So that is what I wanted to do with this series. I know that in these 7 episodes, I try to cover many different topics from people to food to culture and everything. And if I didn't cover anything, then this just means that probably I did not significantly consider as something that would affect your life so much. It wasn't something that I consciously wanted to impart to you. It was something that you could learn by yourself. For example, I didn't make an episode on education, which even though is quite requested, there are quite a lot of other people who are doing a good job about explaining life in Estonia with respect to students, about universities, about programs and all these different things. So coming to the main question, should you move to Estonia? Well, I cannot answer that. What I can answer is, why did I stay? Despite all the things that I told you about in the series, about people, about weather, about food and everything, what made me stay here? What made me live here? What made me call this place my home? And that is quite simply, let me explain. As I said in the first episode as well, Pakistan and Estonia are two diametrically opposite places in every different thing, whether it is people, whether it is culture, whether it is food, whether it is landscape and everything. They're two different places. And coming to Estonia from such a different place meant that I have to essentially start from zero. Nada, nil, nothing. You have 0 friends, you have 0 family, you have 0 jobs. You're basically starting your education here from 0, even though, well, you studied everything that you had before. You don't know the language, everything is 0. You can look at it in 2 different ways. The first is, okay, I'm empty, there is nothing I can do about it, and I have to start over and it's going to be tough and hard and miserable. Or you can look at it in another way, that okay, I have left all the baggage behind me. I have shed all the different skins that I wore before. Now I am raw. I am like a seed in a truly new different land, and it is up to me. I can make a conscious decision. I can make a conscious choice. I can start to grow again into something. And this is where your potentially truly comes into practice, because you see, every human has an innate desire to expand ourselves, to reach the limits of our potential, to push our boundaries, to see what we're truly made of. And I was no different. Coming to Estonia, going through all these different things, going through hardships and with people, without people, and staying away from all the comfort zones that you made behind, that was such a life-changing experience that it transformed me completely. I became a totally new person. I became more confident. I became more extroverted. I learned to understand what I can do. And it is only through hardships, it is only through putting yourself in unfamiliar environment that you are able to do that. Because comfort zones are dead zones. If you are on autopilot, if you are able to go through your days without thinking, without consciously struggling or consciously making an effort, then yeah, you're definitely not going to be very happy. Another thing that living in Estonia really made me understand quite clearly was the importance of the things that I gave up back home. So culture, family, religion, food, weather, all these things that we take for granted. I learned to have more respect for my culture. I learned to have more respect for my religion. I learned to have more respect for my family and my friends when I was able to see them from a distance, from a perspective, and seeing them from a place where I didn't have them. It is only when you detach yourself from all these different things that you're able to truly know what they mean to you, because it is easier to disregard the things that we have here. It is easier to disregard the fact that if you are in Pakistan, you are able to see sun every morning. And you're not able to do that in many developed countries in the world. What are you going to give up? Are you willing to give that up for some things? You have to understand that, and you have to know that. This gave me a renewed respect for my culture and my religion. I'm much more close to my culture. I'm much more close to my religion than I was 7 years ago, because now I truly understand the importance of these things. I truly understand why they are there, why we have so many different things in our culture. And even though they can become quite rigid, they can become, in a certain sense, a little bit cruel, but they are there for a reason. And certainly there are things, culture here in Estonia, that are there for a reason. So to summarize, I don't know whether you should come to Estonia or not. What I can tell you is that if you want to truly experience life, if you don't want to just have a mundane existence, if you really want to know what you're made of, if you really want to see what is it that you are capable of, then put yourself in a situation which is not your comfort zone, doesn't let you be in autopilot, which makes you wonder, which makes you see, which makes you struggle in a positive way, so that you are able to truly understand who you are. And with this, I'm going to conclude this episode and this series. That is not to say I'm not going to make any new videos. I will be certainly making new episodic series, materials, and all these things. But this is all about life in Estonia. I'm probably also going to make a few more videos if needed, depending on what people say. But this series episode is going to end. And I wish you all the best, no matter where you are in life, no matter what you are going to do. Understand this small little different thing. Life is about living. It's about consciously living, choosing the things that make you bring out more life in yourself and to the others. That is the thing. That is the thing. So I wish you all the best, whatever you do, where you are in your life, where you're going to move, or you're not gonna move. But yeah, that's it. Take care and all the best.